Welcome to Tea Time with Marina, where we're going to make a tea blend to help out with random things, and we're going to talk about it in the meantime. So today we're going to work on an immune tea, and we're going to turn it into a dope mocktail, because I'm feeling a little from Hawaii. So I'm going to start with some elderberries. Super dope. You want to know why? Because here's the thing. A lot of times, we're not getting sick, but we feel our immune systems get run down because, we're dealing with people who don't want to listen, or we're dealing with people or projects that just don't want to budge. So we start to get a little inflamed, and we're like, this is a problem. So we're gonna keep putting nice things in here. So next is peppermint leaf. Super good, especially if you have like sinus things or like mucus buildup. The cool thing about all of this is we're only going to make a little tiny bit, and it's going to be concentrated so we can put yummy things in it. So it's a functional mocktail instead of just something that tastes like an old witch's brew and makes us question our life choices. Another way, echinacea herb, amazing. Another way we can also help our immune systems, though, is to make a ritual out of this, because sometimes, if we're feeling poopy with ourselves and then we don't seek out help, or we're not talking to our friends about it, we're not having tea time with our ladies, things can get a bit rough, because we're stuck in our heads. Lemon balm is the next one. And, I find that if I'm feeling poopy and I haven't had a conversation yet, then I'm just going to keep feeling poopy and I'm going to get stuck in my habits. Even if I know better, having someone else to have tea time with, it just kind of helps things get better. We're going to top this off with some rose petals. It's helpful for a lot of things, but honestly, I just need some color in this batch. Just need some joy. Just throw that in there. So, all of that being said, I want you to note that there are plenty of herbs out there that are here to help. There are plenty of resources out there. So if you're feeling a little, burnt out, pushed down, like things aren't going your way, that's okay. Things will get better. You just gotta start with a little cup of tea, a little cup of intention. Now I'm gonna let this little batch sit for about 4 minutes. Then I'm going to transfer it into this cup. And then I'm going to put this cup in my fridge for probably like 30 minutes. And then I'm going to mix it with like some ginger beer and some mango juice, because that's just my style. That's just the way I like to consume things, purely for joy. I don't know, you can argue that ginger beer is great for the belly, but I think it's here for joy. So while we're waiting a little bit longer for our tea to steep, I think it's important to talk a little bit more about community. So a lot of times, we have a really cool idea and then we get stuck in it and we don't have a way of getting that idea out. And sometimes when you get stuck with your ideas, or you have an opinion or something, and then it makes your throat start to swell up a little bit, and you start to feel a little bit immunocompromised because you didn't do something to bring that idea to reality. And a lot of times I think, these ideas, they get, stuck for whatever reason. Self-doubt. We don't think we have the resources, whatever the reason. And it's a shame, because that's the moment where if we just push a little bit more and we just have one additional conversation, one additional action, that can make the difference. And so that's why I always like to start with making a cup of tea. Just let's figure out what's going on. Let's talk to our people. I'm going to end this with one final story for you. Back in 2020, when the pandemic first started, I actually had created an entire coaching business and I was helping multiple entrepreneurs do exactly what I'm doing now. But then I went radio silent on the internet for years because I got so sucked into one project and like one real focal point that I lost sight of everything else. And the reason that happened, because we don't just do that like, oh my goodness, I'm a victim of my own life and circumstance. Like, this happens because we tell ourselves stories that are really important. We say we're doing this thing because this is super important. And if we're just so busy in go, go, go mode and we're not stopping, taking some time to sip some tea and talk about what it is that we need to do to break the next glass ceiling, that glass ceiling will always be there. So, all of that being said, I want you to think while you're making yourself a little cup of tea about what glass ceiling you have kind of put in front of yourself. Like something that you can easily do, but there's a mental barrier there, or you told yourself that that's less important. But in reality, it's something that keeps gnawing at you every day, and you know that this is what you should be doing. I knew I should have been a consultant. I knew I should have been helping multiple people, and I got so focused on one thing, which was good because I got to do a deep dive. I got to learn a lot. I regret nothing. But point of the story is it put me behind on my timeline, years behind where I thought I would be right now in terms of the amount of people I would have been able to help. So, all of that being said, I am excited to pour this drink into this cup with the intention of not only creating more recipes to help more people and to show more people that there are really delicious ways of increasing your health and decreasing your stress, but also there are ways to do so in whatever business you're in. Obviously, if you're in hospitality and you got a bar, obviously these are some cool recipes you can copy and paste. But where are other places in life that you can be doing the same thing? It's just something to consider, because we're not as stuck as we think we are. And usually we build things up in our heads. And if we just use some support from Mother Nature, we do a little bit of talking to ourselves, a little tea time with our friends, there's nothing that we can't come back from.